Today, I want to address a certain section of the people in my comments, as well as others who fall into the same category. This category of people are those that are either too old, too poor, or physically prevented from taking any physical steps to prepare in some way for what I and many others are predicting to happen in this country sometime in the near future. In the comment section of just about every video, I get a few comments from people saying that they were either too old, too poor, too late, or any combination of these to prepare for what I and many others say is coming. I'm not going to tell you that you are wrong. I'm also not going to tell you that you are right either. The reality of the situation lies somewhere in between. Let's take the worst case scenario. You are an old person, say over 75 years old, you are unemployed, you live in a white squatter camp, and you have basically no money. Certainly no money to spend on buying extra food, radios, and other things like that. You are destitute, in other words. Let's look at your situation in the context of what you need to survive the total chaos. Okay, we already know what you don't have. What do you have? Being unemployed, you have to have more time on your hands than any working person. It stands to reason. And time is one of, if not, the most valuable commodity you could have. You must be living somewhere, even if it is in a makeshift shack somewhere among other people who are in a similar situation to you. That means that you have numbers, even if you aren't that many. Let's see how, using these few resources, even you can prepare to some degree for the coming chaos. At the moment, you must be getting water from a tap somewhere close by. Whether you have a tap supplied specially for you to use, or whether you are sourcing water from a nearby building, it will be coming from a tap somewhere. That tap is supplied by a reservoir or tower somewhere close by, and when chaos breaks out, that tap will in all probability stop supplying that water. You need to come up with a way to provide yourself with water for a while. For this, the best thing is plastic drums. Finding plastic 20-liter drums is not very hard. There are many businesses that will gladly give them to you if you explain to them what you wanted them for. Once clean, they could be filled and stored. The best place to store them would be to bury them in the ground. That way they are in total darkness and will not develop any algae. The water will be perfectly fine for drinking for a very long time. In most of these squatter camps that I have seen, there is normally always some space available around them. There is no reason why these spaces can't be used to plant some basic vegetables. Yes, you would have to buy the seeds, but compare the cost of the seeds to a packet of cigarettes or a bottle of brandy. There is no reason anyone who smokes and or drinks has to go hungry. Organize the community to congregate for regular meetings to discuss the way forward and to plan and assign duties to everyone according to their abilities. Even someone who is in a wheelchair can fulfill a very valuable function by keeping the books, taking down notes and minutes of meetings, producing work rosters for the community, and so on. There are very few that will not qualify in some way to make some kind of a contribution. If you are producing food, you need to make provision to protect it as soon as your garden starts to produce anything. Here you will need to organize a team of the healthiest and most capable younger people to literally guard the food day and night, 24/7, 365. To do this, the guard team will need to undergo some kind of training to give them some skills in the fighting department. I am pretty sure that there will be very few, if any at all, that possess firearms, so they will need to develop skills in using other methods of defense. In most communities, there is normally someone who has had some martial arts training who can pass on some skills to the teams. These teams, along with everyone in the community who is physically able, should be getting together on a daily basis for a physical fitness session. This does not have to be a boot camp session every day either. All it needs to be is a light cardio and stretching session where everyone gets a chance to get some fresh air and move their limbs a bit. All too often, when we find ourselves in a position where we see our situation as hopeless, we sit on our asses and do nothing, which actually makes the situation even worse. There is nothing like a bit of exercise out in the fresh air in the morning or evening to get the blood flowing and the brain working. Another very important role you could fill is collecting of intelligence. In most cases, most whites living under these circumstances are also living in close proximity to the black settlements, if not part of them. The information you gather could be very valuable. Getting back to the teams of guards whose job it is to protect the food, gardens, as well as the community, they will need some form of weapon or weapons. This is also applicable to any and every person in the community. It is wise to practice using a knife and make sure that you have one on your side at all times. There are many other weapons that are extremely effective in the hands of someone who knows how to use them. Take the simple broomstick as an example. In the right hands, it can be an absolutely lethal weapon. An axe or panga is also an extremely effective weapon when you have the skills to use them. These are all close combat weapons. There are some alternative longer range weapons that you can manufacture yourself that are also very effective. A broomstick equipped with some form of steel point makes a very effective spear that in the right hands is once again a very effective weapon. Just about everyone is able to manufacture a bow and arrows. If you are useful with your hands and perhaps own or have access to some very basic tools, you could even build yourself a crossbow out of scrap, which is extremely effective at longer distances. It also has the advantage of being almost entirely silent. The most important thing you can do as a person living under these circumstances is to form very tight communities and work together. Alone, you stand very little chance. Unfortunately, for most living under these circumstances, there is little chance of being able to evacuate to other safer areas, so your only hope is to fortify yourselves where you are right now. Anyone who finds themselves in a position where they consider their situation hopeless, I have to ask, have you made contact with any of the civil defense groups yet? Although as far as I know they all ask a monthly fee, I don't know of a single one who will not accept someone into their organization if they truly are not able to pay the fees. I know it is not possible for everyone to go out and spend a lot of money on dry foods, canned foods, and special water containers, etc. But that is no excuse not to do anything. There is one other category of person I would like to talk about, and that is the ignorant ones. The people who say that they will not leave their valuable house under any circumstances and will die defending it. Although it is my intention to defend my home as much as anyone else, there might be a time when you or I will be forced to leave and find a safer place to exist. When that time comes, and it is very possible that it will, I'm willing to guarantee that those that have not made any provisions for such an occurrence will almost certainly be killed within a stone's throw of their own home, their own valuable home. Do you really think that your family deserve that fate simply because you are too hard-assed and ignorant to take measures to ensure the safety of your family? This is not a game we are playing here, folks. This could and probably will be a matter of literal life and death at some point. This is not the time to be acting bravado. You are showing nothing but ignorance. The bottom line is, there is practically nobody that can say that there is nothing they can do to prepare for a possible chaos scenario. Obviously, there are those that are physically not able to do anything for themselves. It is the duty of the rest of the community to take care of them in the best possible way they can with the resources that they have at their disposal. I hope this will put a stop once and for all to the comments saying that they are old and rely on a SASSA grant or a small pension, etc., so they will just sit at home and hope for the best. Please like and share this video on as many social media platforms as possible. It's the only way that my message gets out there. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I have to ask why not. You have absolutely nothing to lose. If you would like to make a contribution to my channel, in the description field I have provided ways in which both local as well as international viewers can make a contribution. If you would like to make a crypto contribution, also in the description field I provided a Bitcoin as well as an Ethereum wallet address. If you'd like to contribute any other crypto, simply shoot me an email to the address also provided in the description field and I will send you the relevant wallet address. I also have a Zapper account, so if you pause the video whenever you see the Zapper code and scan it, you'll be able to make a contribution that way. Any and all contributions are very welcome and very much appreciated. To the amazing people who do contribute to my channel, I say a huge thank you. Your contributions are greatly appreciated and valued. Until next time, be safe out there.